Hi, I'm Carla, and we'll be doing a basic art barrel series on the mat. I love the art barrel. It's one of my favorite pieces of equipment. And a lot of times people will ask me what piece of equipment should they get first when they're getting into Pilates. And if it's not going to be a bigger equipment like the reformer, I always suggest the art barrel because you can do so much with it. And it's a great teaching tool. So we're going to start off today by just putting the art barrel right behind us. I'm going to lie down and get my head supported on the art barrel. This should feel okay to you. Your body will sink toward the floor. I don't want you to feel any neck strain. So if you feel neck strain, you can either lie down on the floor to do this, or you can go down a little bit lower. If you go up higher, you might find that it starts putting a little bit more neck strain. So you want to maintain that chin to chest. From here, we're just going to breathe for a second. So I'll take a deep breath in and exhale. You can close your eyes. And again, deep breath in. As I breathe in, my low back will go off the floor a little bit. And then as I exhale, my lower body or my belly sinks back toward the floor. So I'm just going through a little tilting here. And again, inhale, find that little release. And exhale, a deepening through the obliques. And one more time here, deep breath in, diaphragm drops, pelvic floor will drop a bit, and then exhale, everything sinks back in and up. From here, I'll reach my hands straight up to the ceiling, release the tailbone, and reach the shoulders up toward the ceiling. You'll feel them come off of the art barrel. Inhale, drop them back down. And do that again. Exhale to reach. Inhale, drop them back. And two more. Notice what that does to your rib cage. As you're moving your shoulders, you'll feel your rib cage change position. So just take note of that. And one more time, reach and back down. From here, I'm going to gently reach forward and take my arms back behind me. So reaching back, lift the breastbone up a little bit. And then as you exhale, draw the breastbone back down as the hands come back down to the sides. So let's do that again. So to me, I feel like I'm reaching my fingertips up higher to the ceiling and then up and over as I lift the breastbone up slightly. It just naturally happens. And then exhale, come back through again. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way back through. Let's do one arm at a time. I'm going to lengthen one arm back behind me. Allow that underarm to lift ever so slightly. And then come all the way back through. And I'll do the other side. So as I'm going, my underarm will lift ever so slightly. It's like my side waist is lengthening a bit, and then come all the way back through again. So there is a slight elevation of that underarm, lengthening from the underarm to the hip, and then you come back through that neutral line. And one more time, lengthening, and then back down again. From here, we'll just do a few little circles. So both arms and circle out and around. And notice how my rib cage isn't really changing position. The movement is happening in the shoulder socket itself. Reaching. Good. And one more time here. And out and around. Let's reverse direction. Inhale to open. And then exhale. Come straight back through. And two more of those. And again, the hands will move as far as the palms go up toward the ceiling, and then the pinkies slice back through. And what that's doing is moving my shoulder in the socket. And then you can go ahead and release that. We'll go ahead and roll over onto your side and come all the way up. So from here, we're just going to scoot forward just a little bit more. And I'm going to curl back so that my mid-back hits the art barrel. And so you want to be hitting right around, just underneath the scapular bones, and your feet will be planted. From here, we're going to definitely support the head. So both of my hands go slightly behind me. I'm not going to interlace my fingers. I'm actually keeping my fingers a little bit wide here. And allow the elbows to come toward one another. The shoulders go forward a bit, so you're engaging that serratus anterior. We're just going to hold this for a second to see what that feels like. Deep breath in. And exhale. And do that again. When you breathe in, you should feel almost as if your rib cage is going into the art barrel more. And exhale. I'm going to do that one more time. You might see subtle movement in my body here. And exhale. On this next one, I'm going to inhale again. And exhale, start going back and allow the elbows to open. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, curl back up. We'll just stop right here. We'll do that again. Inhale to go through this little extension. And exhale, curl back up again. And we'll do 2 more of those. Inhale to open. Make sure you keep your chin and chest. Come all the way back. A lot of times people will just kind of lift their head up, so try to keep that from happening. And then come all the way back through again. From here, I'm going to lift my hips straight up toward the ceiling and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come all the way back down. So right now, when I come up, I have my head supported on that art barrel. So when I come up, my head is supported on the art barrel, and I'm lifting. I'm opening up the front of the hips, and then drop all the way back down. And we'll do 3 more of those. Use the glutes, use the back of the legs, open those elbows out to the side, take a breath in. And exhale. So what we're doing here when we go into these motions, we're lengthening the whole front line of the body. It feels really good. Inhale. And exhale, come back through. And last time, inhaling to lift up, 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 up. And exhale, come all the way back through. And now we'll go ahead and sit all the way up. You can either roll onto your side or you can sit all the way up this way. I'll face you. And we're going to go into this zigzag mermaid type of position. Place the hand on the side here. And I'm going to lift my right arm up toward the side and allow my left elbow to bend toward the art barrel as I go into a little bit of a side stretch mermaid. Inhale into these ribs. As I exhale, draw the ribs back down as you come all the way back up, and let's do the other side. So inhale, and exhale, come all the way back. And again, that elbow's gonna drop, inhale, and exhale, come back. And again, same thing, lengthening up and over, and exhale. And one more time here, so just warming up the spine, getting through some side bending, all the way back. And last time, up and over, and come all the way back through. Now this time I'm going to actually wrap around, place both hands on the art barrel, take a deep breath into my upper back. And exhale, come all the way back to center. And we'll do that again. So I'm going to wrap around, place both hands on the art barrel, round my back, deep breath in. And as I exhale, come all the way back up. And last time. So going through a little flexion. I'm not just dropping my head, I'm rounding my back. Inhale. And exhale, come all the way back through. Place your hand on the center of the art barrel. We'll do a little bit more rotation. So I'm going to plant my hand onto the art barrel a little bit more, almost like I'm actively pushing slightly and going through rotation. Allow your eyes to follow that hand. Come all the way back through. We'll do that again. So inhale, lengthen up and go through a little rotation and all the way back. Again, just warming up the spine with a little spine twisting. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, come all the way back. Good job, you guys. We're going to do the same series other side. I'm just going to pick my art barrel up and go to the other side so you can still see me. And again, my hand will go here. Left arm comes up. I'm going to sink toward the art barrel, go up and over. Make sure your shoulder doesn't jam up towards your ear here. And then come all the way back. Inhale here. Deep breath in through these ribs. And exhale to come all the way back through. And again, inhale, lengthening up and over. And exhale. And again, deep breath. So when you breathe, it affects what your rib cage is doing. And exhale. And last time, so we're really going through some lengthening. And then come all the way back. And now this time, I'll rotate toward the art barrel and round a little bit. Deep breath into my back. And exhale, come all the way back up. And we'll do that again. So I'm going to go through some rotation and then flexion. Deep breath in. And exhale. And last time, inhaling. And exhale. Place that hand in the center. And this time, I'm going to keep going through a little more rotation, just getting a little active push. And exhale, come back through. 3 of these. And again, inhaling. and exhale, and last time. Inhale, go through that rotation, and exhale, come all the way back through, and you can release. Awesome. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of work now that we've warmed up. So this time I'm going to sit in front of the art barrel, but I'm not going to sit quite as far away. I'm going to sit a bit closer and curl down toward it. Both hands to the sides of the head. So now this is hitting me more toward the lower aspect of my rib cage. And same idea, I'm going to come through that little bit of a flexion. The feet will be farther away from you this time, actually. And then we're going to come all the way down, go back into a little extension, chin and chest. Inhale. As you exhale, draw your elbows toward one another and go ahead and see if you can sit all the way up. We'll do that again, going into a little bit of a half roll back, back into extension. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you can, keep pushing through those abdominals so you're going through deeper flexion and coming all the way back through again. And one more time here. Inhale to open and exhale. Deepen, deepen, deepen. Make sure you don't pull your neck. You're coming through and then back up. Now, this time as we go through that same motion, I'm going to release one arm back behind me and then come all the way back through. Let's do that same side. So inhale, go through a little rotation. Eyes will follow that hand. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale back through. Let's do the other side. So again, inhale, little rotation. And then adding back that little flexion back up to the top. And again, inhale to lengthen. And exhale. Watch the shoulder girdle. You're making sure your shoulders stay nice. And on the way back up, engaged all the way back through. This time we're going to come back to here. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit so it does hit me a little bit more on my mid-back. And from here, start going back through extension. Now, if that feels okay to you, you can keep going so your head goes back farther, arms open up. Exhale, come back. I'm going to add my arm motion to it. If you need to place your hands back behind your head as you're doing this, you can do so. I'm going to take my arms back behind me, lengthening. Circle the arms out to the side as I start curling back up. Let's do that again. So inhale, lengthen. Keep that chin and chest slightly. The chin will come up, but I'm not letting my head just fly back. And exhale, come back through. Let's do one more time. Inhale, go through this long reach. And exhale all the way back through. Now this time we'll do the same thing with the arm. I'm going to go through that rotation, go through a little side bend, and then reach back through. So I'm making a little semicircle. So again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, side bend all the way back. Notice I'm holding on with my left hand to give my head that little bit of support. And then come all the way back through and back to center. Let's do the other side. So inhale through that rotation, lengthening, side bend, and then come back up again. And again, inhale, lengthen, extension, side bending, flexion. And one more time, inhale. And exhale, come all the way back again to here. Walk your feet a lot closer to you. Hands still stay to the sides of the head. Lift your hips up again, and this time you'll go a lot farther back. Your head might even go toward the floor, which is fine. You can lift those hips up higher. And then as you exhale, come all the way back through. So now we're going into a longer extension. Again, you're going to power from the glutes and the back of the legs work here as you lift up, opening up the front of those hips, and then come all the way back again. And two more of these. Inhale to lift up. This feels so good. You can take a deep breath here at the top. And exhale, come all the way back down. And one more time. Notice everything's lifting at the same time versus going backwards and then lifting. So I'm using my glutes to lift me up. Everything's moving together here. And then come all the way back through and you can release. Good job, you guys. That's a lot. We'll go ahead and sit all the way up again. And we're going to go around into what's called Swan. So I'm going to start, or we're going to work up to Swan. We're going to do a little bit of extension. I'm going to start by lying down on my art barrel. I've moved it this way so I still have some mat room. And I'm going to come onto this so that I can actually round my body over top of the art barrel. So I'm nice and rounded. From here, we're just going to breathe for a second. My knees are open out to the side. My feet are toward one another. My hands are under my head. And for now, I'm just going to breathe into my upper back. So take a deep breath in and exhale. And you can do that again. Inhaling and exhale. You can also put your hands a little wider to the side and just put your head on the floor. That sometimes feels even better. Let your shoulders just round forward. Let everything go. Inhale again. And exhale. On this next one, I'm going to put my hands there to my side, and I'm going to slightly start lifting up through extension, seeing if I can let my head float above the floor. Just see what that feels like here. And then as I exhale, I'm going to come all the way back down again. So let's do that again. So as I inhale, I'm going to start coming up and floating right above the floor. And exhale, come all the way back down. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling, get that little bit of a lift. Notice I'm not using my hands here. And exhale, come back through. On these next few, I'm going to see if you can do the same thing and allow your hands to float up with you. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. And one more time. And exhale, come all the way back down again. From here, I'm going to scoot forward a little bit more. So I'm curling forward, and I'm going to start activating the back of the legs. So I'm coming up into what looks like a shoulder plank of sorts, just supporting my body, activating the back of the legs. The legs are in lateral rotation, kneecaps gently lifted. You should not be feeling this in your lumbar spine. You can come down a little bit lower if you do. And from there, all I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can lift one leg up without letting anything else change. And then that leg's going to lower back down. Other side. So let that leg float up. And then back down. Other side again. So I'm trying to lift from this part of my leg. My leg is as long as I can get it, almost like I'm pointing through my toes. The leg's lengthening from my torso. Come all the way back. And again. Notice that I'm not moving my low back. So if you're lifting and that low back is moving, I want you to find more stability and see if we can really isolate the motion of the glutes and the back of the legs. So see if you can find that. And if that means you can just lift a little bit, that's fine. It's fine. This is a practice. And again, lift. So practicing being able to tap into those extensors. And this is a wonderful place to practice that. Now, if you can start alternating one leg and then the other. Again, watching that you're not getting into your low back. And if you are, again, you can come down lower. So sometimes it feels better for people who are just starting to come down lower here to practice this. Or you can come into more engagement. But again, make sure you're really picking up through here so your low back is not engaging on this. And let's do one more time each side. And now you can go ahead and release that. I know you're feeling that through the back of the legs. I'll scoot forward just a little bit more so I could start pivoting down through this motion. So I put my hands wider, and I'm going to lift those legs up, 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 up. See if you can maintain that. Deep breath in as you start lifting up through the crown of the head. And again, exhale. Seeing if you can lift from the back of the legs. Now again, I'm trying to not just push into the floor. I'm really thinking of lifting through the crown of the head like we did before, where we're not using the hands so much. So I want you to think through the crown of the head, using the back, lifting up, and that's why the legs go down here. And then we're going to initiate through the back of the legs as you come back through again. Soft elbows. And again, inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. And exhale, lift through the back of the legs. And one more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale, soften those elbows. Come all the way back through. And now let's just go ahead and come all the way over top of there. Bend your knees and round over top of the art barrel. You can move your hips from side to side slightly. Forehead on the art barrel. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. And we'll do that again. Deep breath in. And exhale. And one more time. Inhaling. And exhale. take the art barrel out in front of me just a bit more and come all the way up to here. From here, I'm going to mobilize from my hips and my shoulders. So we're going to go back and forth through a little bit of hinging, obviously the hip and the shoulder, in this straight back position. So I'm not rounding my back and I'm also not in extension. So hinging back and forth. Watch that you're not doing this right now. We will in a minute, but right now I'm just seeing if I can just move from my hips and then back through the shoulders. And one more time, hinging back and coming back through again. On this next one, we will exhale, go through a deep roundness here, using the flexors in the front of the body through here, and then inhale, lift all the way back up again. And do that again. So exhale, going through some flexion, and inhale, come back up. This time, see if you can lift a little higher, almost like a cat-cow. And again, exhale. So we're really thinking of flexion, and then rolling back through neutral and a slight extension. And last time, feels so good. And then come all the way back up again. And you can release that. I'm going to come down onto my left elbow and take my left leg away from me. My right foot will turn a little bit, and all I'm going to do is go through a little bit of a rotation. You can also do this with your arm all the way up if that feels a little bit more sustainable to you. And then come all the way back through again. So I'm going to show you that again. So all I'm going to do is come up onto that elbow, take that leg back, and go through this long reach. Feels really good. A little assisted side plank. Come all the way back again, and we'll do one more time. Inhale and exhale, going through this reach. From here, take this arm overhead and go through a long side bend. My elbow will bend toward the art barrel. Inhale, come back up again. We'll do that again. Exhale, inhale here, and exhale. And last time, deep breath in through here, and exhale, come all the way back through, and we're going to come through and do the other side. So I'm going to leave my art barrel here. You can come back through a little flexion if you want to. And I'm going to come back up, and again, I'll leave my art barrel here. Come down onto that elbow, go through that reach, and then come on up. Inhale. And exhale, I'm going to come back through again. Just seeing what that feels like to get that shift of weight in the body. And exhale, watching that you're rotating with your torso versus just using the arm. So my torso is rotating and my arm goes to here. From here, that top arm goes over. I'm going to reach my leg a little farther away and come all the way back. And again, same thing. So inhale and exhale. And last time, we do something very similar to this on the Cadillac and come all the way back through. And now we're going to come back around again. Both hands here, and we'll go back into that little flexion. And again, deep breath in. From here, place both hands to the sides of the art barrel. I'm going to move this forward more so I have more room on my mat. And I'm going to take my left leg back behind me. And I'm just going to reach that leg farther back. If you want more of a stretch, you can come lower and take the foot even farther back. So I'm trying to get into a little bit of a stretch through my calves. So you can do either way. They both feel really good. And one more time, pushing through that calf muscle. I'm going to do the other side, so this leg's going to go back, and I'm going to reach back through that calf muscle. Again, my upper body is very supported. I'm not just dropping through my shoulders. I'm nice and strong here. And one more time. For this next one, I am going to take both legs back. So I'm holding on to the side of the art barrel. My right leg's going to go back. I'll push gently back through that heel. Again, activating the upper back part of the leg so you're not just staying weak back there. That leg is active and pushed away. The other leg will come up, so both legs come to here. From here, I'm going to just push back into what looks like a down dog, but notice my head stays higher than my shoulders for this particular move. I'm truly going through hinging at the hips and the shoulders versus going any lower than that. From there, lift up through the tiptoes. You can start inching down toward what looks like a plank, and then go ahead and pike back again. So inhale, dropping those heels. And exhale. Lengthen through the crown of the head, engage the glutes. And again. again. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way back through, hold. And now we'll place one foot down in front of you. Slide the other leg back behind you, as long as this isn't too much on your knee. Press your hands gently into the art barrel and lift your breastbone up. Deep breath in. And exhale. You can let that go. We'll do that again. So inhale again, lifting up. I'm engaging the back of my leg slightly on this leg. Inhaling. And exhale. Other side. So I'll put this knee forward. This leg's going to sink back. I'll keep reaching it back and away. And again, I'm going to push my fingertips into this art barrel to lift my breastbone up. And exhale. Let it go a little bit. And again, inhale. I'm engaging that glute. That helps open up the front of the hip ever so slightly. And back through. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale, come back through again, and you can go ahead and pick yourself all the way up here. Good job, you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to do one of the things that I love the most about the art barrel. We're going to go through a little bit of hip hinging and hip rolls, because it allows you to tap in to the back of your legs a little bit differently. So we're going to lie down on the back, and you've seen this before in mat classes. I'm going to put both of my feet up on top of that art barrel. From here, let's just breathe for a second. So deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to think about shortening the rib to hip space, almost like this, like an accordion. And now we're going to open that back up. So we're going to inhale again. Use your breath to allow this to happen. And exhale. Deepen, deepen, deepen. And again, same thing. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale. Now from here, we're going to engage the glutes and the back of the legs and start rolling up one vertebra at a time. I always like to keep my hands on my hips so I can feel that they're coming up evenly. Make sure your feet are not rolling out to the sides. And if you've heard me teach in my mat classes before, you know that I talk a lot about the secret, one of the secrets of Pilates is the balance through the foot. So really watching what your feet are doing through your motion. We're just going to roll all the way back down. So again, inhale, make sure you find that neutral position. I'm going to go back through a little extension. And then exhale, come back through neutral pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt. Engage the glutes, back of the legs, and pushing gently through those heels, activating the back of the legs and the glutes to open up the front of the hips. From here, I'm going to imagine someone's holding onto the back of my knees, almost pulling me forward ever so slightly. So I'm lengthening. And then we're going to roll all the way back down, starting from the top, all the way through to the bottom. So one vertebra at a time, and then release the hips. I love this because people who have a really hard time feeling this when the feet are on the floor can really feel it when their feet are slightly elevated. So it's a great tool for feeling what's happening in your body. Keep those knees toward one another. The big toe stays planted, but the outer line of your body is still working. Inhale. And exhale, we'll roll all the way back down again, one vertebra at a time. Now that was hip rolls, so we're rolling up the torso and then all the way back down. Now instead of rolling, we're going to try to lift. So I'm trying to keep a neutral line of my torso and lift straight up using the glutes and the back of the legs. Release the glutes, and you should drop straight back down again. So we'll do that again. So engage the glutes, back of the legs. Everything else is nice and still. You're lifting up, 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 up through this straight line. Watch your feet so you don't roll out to the sides. Release the glutes, drop straight back down. And one more time. Exhale, lift. Inhale at the top. Exhale to drop. We're going to marry those motions a little bit. So now I'm going to lift up, come all the way up, hold, and then exhale, roll all the way back down and release. Let's do that again. As you exhale, lift up in a straight line, and then roll all the way back down, one vertebra at a time. And last time, lifting up, and then roll all the way back down. Let's reverse that. So inhaling at the bottom, and exhale, I'm going to roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time, and then drop straight back down. And again, same thing. Exhale, deepen, and roll. and drop. We'll do last time here, and exhale. Use your breath. The breath is essential in all of this work, and drop all the way back down, and you can release. You can go ahead and let your knees go from side to side, and then allow both of your feet to come toward one another as you open your knees out like butterfly wings. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw your knees back up again. Let's do that again. So inhale, roll into the sides of the feet, but think from the hips, and exhale all the way back through. And last time here, inhale. We, again, do something like this on the Pilates chair and also in the mat work. Come all the way back through again. We'll roll over onto the side. We're just going to take a little bit of a side bend while we're here. So I'm just going to draw my knees toward me just ever so slightly. Take the hand out in front of you. Draw that elbow to your side and go through a little rotation. Inhale. And exhale, come all the way back through. And we'll do that one more time. So draw that elbow in. Eyes follow the hand. Rotate, deep breath in. And come all the way back through again. I'm just going to roll over, do the same thing a couple of times on the other side. So rolling all the way over, knees towards you. The back, the head are still in that straight line here. I'm not in flexion, I'm not rolled in. Drawing the elbow to my side, my shoulder, the top of my shoulder is going to go back. So I'm moving my torso, not just moving the arm. And then come all the way back through again. And what I mean by that is a lot of times I'll see people just reach the arm, but you're really thinking about moving the top line of that torso and then reaching through that arm. So you get that motion and come all the way back through again. Good job. We're going to go ahead and sit all the way up. And now we're going to do my, actually, another favorite thing for the art barrel. I love the art barrel. I'm going to come to this side of my art barrel, sitting in front of it. And notice I put it toward this edge of the mat because I'm going to roll over top of it. So I want room for my body on the other end. And I'll show you what I mean. We're going to get on this art barrel. We're going to get the hips to the top. Please be careful getting onto this. I see people all the time sit up at the top and then flop backwards. Please don't do that. We're going to sit in front of the art barrel, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle over top of it. Pretty simple. So wiggling over top. And at the top, you want enough room so that your torso can kind of hug toward the floor, but you're not going to be in this huge extension. So making sure that you're not so far up here that you can't get your rib cage on the backside toward the floor. You want that rib cage going toward the floor. I'm not working in a straight line here, okay? So please get that far enough that you can achieve that. From here, I'll draw one knee to me and then the other leg to me. Now, depending on your clothes here, you could be slippery. So sometimes people want to put a little sticky mat under them. So it just really depends on how you feel. Initially, I'm just going to draw both of my knees toward me and take a deep breath in. And exhale. This feels so nice just to be here. And let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. And exhale. I'm going to go ahead and reach both of my legs straight up to the ceiling. Now notice when my legs are reaching straight up to the ceiling, my body is toward the floor. I'm not extending in that back. From here, I'm going to reach one leg away from me as my other leg comes toward me. I'm going to give myself a little calf stretch here. Place the hands around the calf, and I gently press my calf into my hand, and my hand into my calf, and just breathe. And now I'm going to do the other side. So the other leg comes to me. I'm going to do this little bit of a calf stretch here. Deep breath in. And again, we'll switch. This time I'll flex the heel away from me and point. And do that one more time. Push that heel away. You can even reach up toward your feet if you want to. And then we're going to switch again. So I'm coming to here. Push the heel away. And then point. And one more time. The calves get so tight, and calf tightness is directly related. It helps or can create back tightness, and obviously ankle tightness as well. Okay, so we're going to go into some scissors. So both legs go straight to the ceiling again. I'm trying to keep my torso still, and I'm going to reach one leg away from me as the other leg comes toward me, and then switch. And as you're doing this, I imagine I have flex bands around my feet. So one leg is actively pulling toward me as the other leg is actively pressing away, like pulling a band away. So this leg is not floppy. I'm not just kind of pushing down. I'm actively pulling and pushing, and then switch. So there's the legs are active here. I'm using the extensors on their leg that's reaching away. And again, reach, reach, and reach. This feels so good. Again, mobilizing through those hips and lengthen. Now, if you want to do a little push, pull here, you can. So I'm going to reach and switch and switch. Switch. Every time I do that little bit of a push, push, I'm thinking longer through the hip. Reach, reach, and one more each side. And then last time here, reach, reach all the way back up. Both legs all the way together. I'll open the legs out to the side and I'm going to press through the heels. Reach. Point the toes, come all the way back. And we'll do that again. So opening out and then reach. And one more time here. Opening out to the side and push. From here, I'm going to keep my feet here, keep the knees here, but just draw the heels toward one another. So I'm going to start in this position. As I exhale, I'm going to really engage through my abdominals, point the toes, and reach long and away through the legs. Inhale, think of almost pulling back in as you open out again. And exhale, again, keep the ribs to hips knitted together, drawing back in. Again, I'm working, going, and coming, so I'm thinking of pushing a weight away from me and almost like I'm pulling it back toward me. And two more. Exhale to reach. Inhale, come back in. And last time, reach. And all the way back in again. From here, we're going to go into windmill. So reach both legs straight up to the ceiling. My right leg will come toward me as my left leg goes away, and I'm going to scissor them out, or windmill them out to the side so that they switch position, and then they both come back together again. So let's try that again. This time my left leg comes to me as my right leg goes away, and we're going to reverse that windmill, and the legs come back together. So this takes a little bit of time sometimes for people. Right leg to you, left leg away. Switch them, so now my left leg's to me, my right leg's away, and then they both go to the ceiling again. Left leg to you, right leg away. Reach, and go through that windmill. Now your legs will go through a little lateral rotation back to parallel there. Right leg to you, left leg away, and windmill. All the way back together, and two more sets of these. So reaching. So this begins the last two sets. So I'm going to lengthen and windmill. This feels so nice in those hips. And again, you're still thinking about that activity. So you're not just kind of floppy here through your legs. You're going through that little bit of a push and pull feeling the whole time. And then all the way back in here, and you can release. From here, you can bend the knees to you for a second. As you exhale, I want you to send the legs long and away from you. Again, keep the low abs nice and connected. Bend the knees to you. You can place your hands on the barrel if you need a little assistance. And we're going to gently, very gently, give yourself a little push as you roll over. That really helps if you're tight in your back. For now, I'm going to keep the knees slightly bent. Now later, the intention is not to use your hands, but right now, just for the warm-up, I am going to have you, especially since you're new to this, try to stay nice and open through the shoulders. And you can give yourself that little bit of a help to go over. We're keeping the knees bent toward us for now. And again, we're going to roll all the way back down. This is wonderful for people who can't do this from the floor. So again, you're going to reach. Now, if that's too much, you don't have to do that reach. And come all the way back over. Now this time we're going to stay here. See if you can reach your legs longer. So just hold that position. You'll feel a long stretch through the hamstrings. If you want to, you can bend the knees to roll back down. Or you can keep those hamstrings long and start rolling all the way back down without letting your knees come closer to your face. And then come all the way back through. We'll reach. So again, we're going to go up and over, roll. So you can go, use whatever modification you want here, or go with whatever level you want to here. I've showed you a few different versions. Reaching, and then come all the way back down. And you can let that go. Bend both knees to you. Place your hands on top of your knees. You can move your knees from side to side here like a circle, and then the other direction like a circle. And now you can release. Just take a deep breath in. To get off of this, you're going to lift your hips up a little bit, push the art barrel away from you, and place your feet back down onto the floor. From here, I'm just going to reach both of my legs directly over top of the art barrel, let the knees open out to the side, and let my body reset or settle down into the floor. Just take a deep breath in. And exhale. And again, deep breath in. And exhale. And one more time, inhaling. And exhaling. Place both hands on the tip of your shoulders right through here, the rounded part. And we're just going to do a little bit of an opening through those shoulders. So I'll have you take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, think of using your fingers to open those shoulders up a little bit more. And as you exhale, see if you can keep opening them. Almost like a little fascial stretch or a connective tissue stretch through this line of your body. So you're still opening. Let's do that again. Inhale. So my shoulders will not round forward here. And then exhale, I'm still giving myself that little feedback as I breathe, chin to chest. And one more time, deep breath in. And exhale. And you can release. Good job, you guys. You made it. That was a basic art barrel repertoire.